Madam Chair and fellow commissioners, thank you for receiving this staff report and update on the City of Oxnard's youth sports program. My name is Christian Reyes, and I am the Recreation Coordinator who now oversees this program. I will be present at the February 27th Commission meeting to receive questions that you may have. In alignment with our department's mission, we promote lifelong learning, foster civic pride, and enhance Oxnard's quality of life through extraordinary cultural, recreational, and educational programs and services. Working as a team, our recreation aides, recreation specialists, and myself dedicate our expertise, time, and resources to offer Oxnard the athletic programs described within this presentation. There are positive values that can come as a result of participation in organized sports. The first of which is the physical activity. In this day and age, youth throughout the country tend to live a more sedentary lifestyle and are more susceptible to negative influences in their environment, both of which negatively impact the health and safety of our youth. Second, organized sports have the potential to be enjoyed by all levels of athletic skill and experience. One tends to repeat a behavior when they genuinely enjoy performing it. So, sports can be a great way to repeat a behavior that has been proven to have positive effects on the lives of youth and the adults they will soon become. Lastly, sports can be every bit as educational as what can be learned in a traditional classroom setting. Leadership, responsibility, integrity, teamwork, fine and gross motor skills are all developed from participation in sports leagues. Prior to COVID-19, circa fall 2018, the city of Oxnard planned and executed youth flag football as well as girls volleyball leagues. At that time, 88 teams were registered with an average of about 12 players per team roster. Those roughly 1,056 participants ranged anywhere from kindergarten to 8th grade. In winter of 2019, our most popular sport of basketball was able to register 160 teams, boys and girls, at a conservative average of 10 players per team roster. These roughly 1,600 participants also ranged anywhere from kindergarten to 8th grade. Spring of 2019 was dedicated to boys volleyball, slow pitch softball for girls, and 7-on-7 soccer for boys and girls, not co ed though. With about 840 participants this season, we registered 70 teams of an estimated average roster size of 12 youth per team. During this time of year, sports are dedicated to junior high students of 6th through 8th grades. Once schools closed down for the summer break, youth sports offered basketball leagues and were able to register 52 teams with about 10 players per roster. Those ranged in age anywhere from kindergarten through 8th grade, where about 520 participants were able to play this season. Which now brings us to the last seasons we were able to offer before the pandemic shut the country down. In fall of 2019, our leagues were able to register 74 teams with about a dozen players per team for a total of an estimated 888 participants. During the winter of 2020, 150 teams were registered with an average of 10 players per team. As those roughly 1,500 participants from kindergarten through 8th grade were about midway through the season, we had to take what would turn out to be a 2-year break from organized sports. Unfortunately, it was at this point that we were unable to complete the season due to the lockdowns. Through all the uncertainty of when or even if sports would ever return, hope was kept alive that it would be sooner rather than later. In the meantime, though, The Lakers and the Dodgers were winning their 2020 championship series to help boost morale in our communities during our hiatus. In the post COVID 19 youth sports program, leagues returned to in the winter of 2022. With a modest 41 teams of about 8 players each, 328 participants were finally able to leave their homes and feel the heat and fun of participating in sports again. While the registrants were between 3rd and 8th grade, all families and spectators were grateful to enjoy basketball games in person once again. Spring 2022 was able to support about 300 participants from 30 teams made up of junior high students from 6th through 8th grade. Summer is our second basketball season, and for 2022, we were able to register 15 teams with roughly 8 players per team. That season, 3rd through 8th graders were able to participate. Fall 2022 was the start of the first full school year where we were able to plan and execute sports leagues. Specifically, it was the first season of flag football and girls volleyball since the shutdowns of COVID 19. It was great to see the 42 teams, an estimated 504 participants, and their families back with us after a 2 year wait. As the world continued to return to some sense of normalcy, winter 2023 saw the registration of 111 teams with an estimated 1,110 participants. Participants were anywhere from 3rd through 8th grade. In its entirety, the season ran from December 5th to March 17th due to a significant staffing shortage. There were many fun, competitive games this season. I highly recommend that you or any fan of basketball come and enjoy a game or two this winter. With the completion of winter, spring 2023 saw 50 teams register with an estimated average of 11 players per team to put our numbers to roughly 600 participants. This past summer of 2023 marked the first time since COVID that we were able to register enough youth to execute leagues from as young as kindergarten back all the way up to 8th grade. With a total of 37 teams, we were able to serve about 407 participants. Unfortunately, since the fall of 2018 to 2022, we had seen a significant reduction in the number of sports teams. For fall sports, we had dropped from 88 teams to 42 teams. Winter 2023 dropped from 160 youth teams to 111. Spring 2023 declined from 70 to 50 teams, and summer 2023 from 52 teams to 37 teams. We have registered a total of 326 youth sports teams since returning from COVID. The vast majority of these teams are from Oxnard based schools as they receive a priority registration window before outside of Oxnard based schools may register. Less than 5% of these teams are based outside of Oxnard. Based on verbal feedback from members of the community, in addition to staff observations, we were able to confidently identify 3 factors for the decline in participation. First, continued fear and hesitancy regarding COVID did play a factor, but as time continues to pass, those fears are slowly but surely subsiding. Second, potential participants declined to register in favor of spending time with friends elsewhere, using electronic devices, or lacking confidence in their athletic abilities. Lastly, our program was and is experiencing significant staffing shortages. I will go into a little bit more detail on that shortly. Without more staff, it is extremely difficult to support more teams. While I have shared unfortunate news regarding the decline of participation numbers, there is reason for optimism. In looking back 1 year from our current season, there are signs of growth in the number of participants. We have very recently begun our fall 2023 season where we have 88 teams of about 12 participants per team. That is an increase of 46 teams from last year. In fact, those 88 teams put us on par with pre COVID fall numbers, where in 2018 we had 88 teams as well. That being said, it should be noted that in 2018, those teams ranged from kindergarten all the way through eighth grade, whereas in 2023, we are only serving third grade through eighth grade. Our staffing numbers have taken a significant hit. Pre COVID, we had about 100 staff who had flexible schedules and availability. Less than 10% of those recreation aides were minors. At this time, the youth sports program is in an almost opposite position. We have less than 50% of the staff that we used to have. Of that percentage, employees are almost half minor aged. The adults that have remained on payroll have limited availability, so we rely heavily on our minor workforce. While we are currently understaffed, we are actively planning and executing recruitment and retention strategies. Previous feedback from separating staff ranged anywhere from lack of competitive salary, lack of benefits, to simply finding full time work elsewhere. Recreation aides have since received a significant raise in hourly pay, and we have re examined how we train and maintain their morale. Additionally, we are increasing outreach efforts. Last fiscal year, we were able to host city job fairs out of two library branches. We visited high school and college campuses, and we ensure that there's a city information table with hiring information at every festival we put on. We even host interviews every 2 weeks at our main office or provide on site interviews at certain events in an effort to process applications quickly. We are doing everything we can to boost our numbers. This is a list of what programs we currently offer. If you or a family member would like to participate in any of the listed programs, please feel free to contact me so that I may guide you through the registration process. My contact information will be shared momentarily. In summation, the current state of the City of Oxnard's youth sports program is one of rebuilding and potential. We have grown from last year. Our programs will continue to grow this year. Our staff is small in number and very young. However, they are very eager and energetic. They show immense potential, and we as permanent staff will do everything that we can to prepare them in serving our mission to promote lifelong learning, foster civic pride, and enhance Oxnard's quality of life through extraordinary cultural, recreational, and educational programs and services. Again, my name is Christian Reyes. I am the recreation coordinator who oversees the youth sports program. My contact information is shown on the screen should you wish to reach me. Madam Chair and fellow commissioners, thank you again for receiving this staff report and update on our program, and have a great evening.